BD5 Pilot with you back in the Hillsboro hangar, and hey, it's warm now. Both the keep my electric pointing towards the workbench so it keeps me warm, but this little heater, quite happy with the job it's doing, making this livable. Look at that, no gloves on my hands, so that's all good. So the work I've been doing has to deal with those side panels where the switches go. So I've taken the 64 thousandths material that I had that I use on the panel itself and made these to form fit the edges to give me a little better support and just a little better look for where the switches go. The thing I had to remember is where these little mounting holes are, so that when I put the actual switches on, design the gradient for where those switches themselves rest on here, they don't infringe on the areas where the supports are on the outboard side of the aircraft. So far, both of these look like they'll fit. So I'll be taking and doing the careful measurements for where the switches themselves go. And then the next step is to drill the holes in that main panel and get that set to where the G3X will actually fit in. We'll see how much I get done the rest of today. Now I've been able to carefully get the templates taped on, and then all of the places I'm going to drill holes, those have been center punched, and then I used another punch to make even a better guide for when I get them onto the drill. And I drill those out initially with a smaller hole and then keep getting larger to make them work. And then I got to cut that center hole as well as the round hole out for the G5. So I've got the smaller holes drilled out, used cutting oil on the large ones that define the corners of the G3. Now we're going to put those larger blades on, lower the speed on the drill, and drill out some of the larger holes. Okay, drilling the 2-inch hole was scary. That 3 1/4 is terrifying. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed it doesn't grab and try to gnarl this whole thing up or take my ankle off. The good news, it all worked. All the holes came out okay. Only thing I got to worry about now, I got to get my placement set up and then drill my holes over here. They're going to be for the push poles, but I've got a new instrument panel. Well, I got the panel cut out, deburred, and then the gauges test fit to make sure they fit, and I've placed them into the aircraft. So to tell you I'm pretty happy with the results is an understatement. Take a look for yourself. The fit is going to work just fine. You can see on the back side here, cable runs for the push pulls. But then the business end of things, the part that I'm going to get to see while I'm flying, is what I'm pretty excited about. No power, so I can't power them up right now, but we can get an idea of how the push pulls will be able to get at and use for the choke and for the fuel cutoffs, and then the instrumentation itself, the G3X and the G5, and then a little fan air flow that can be directed over here. And so I'm pretty delighted. With the glare shield in place, you can kind of also get an idea of how that's going to just bring a little lip out over the edge, but quite aesthetically pleasing, I do have to admit. Well, that makes for a solid good afternoon worth of work, and fortunately in a nice warm hangar. So BD5 Pilot will be back with you. I'm not sure what I'm going to be working on next because I'm waiting on that engine. It's supposed to get started next week out in Wisconsin, so I'm looking forward to getting a video from ZDZ showing that engine actually running. I'm excited to see what it sounds like. BD5 Pilot out for now.